Give me a level.
Level.
Say a thing that you...
I was so hoping you were just going to say speak and leave it there, because then I was going to go rough.
Rough.
Whew.
No, seriously, talk.
I'm about to talk for like an hour and a half. I can't waste these words, man.
Oh, Jesus. Fine. Two Guys, One Podcast, the Sodom and Gomorrah podcast.
Yes.
I'm one guy. I don't think I'm going to have a future as a North Korean athlete. Two Guys, One Podcast.
And I'm the other. Don't doubt me. Don't do it.
Two Guys, One Podcast, making fun of handicapped people since 1981. Two Guys, One Podcast. And this is the podcast. Welcome to Two Guys, One Podcast. I'm one guy.
And I'm the other.
And this is the podcast, episode 21.
I'm going to lose my shit if you keep doing that.
What? I didn't start last week that way. I mentioned it about halfway through that it was episode 20. I just didn't have any other way to start.
Who cares?
Okay. Here's another
it makes me feel like
episode.
It makes me feel like you're bragging every time you do it, and it's such a very small number to brag about.
What, that we've done it 21 times?
Yeah.
I think we're legal this week.
Oh, goodness.
Hey, here's what I want you to do if you're listening to this podcast. I want you to go to twoguysonepod.com, twoguysonepod.com. I know you may listen in iTunes or however, but if you don't visit the website, you should check it out sometime. You can watch videos there. You can listen to old episodes, of course. You can even click the support button. That'll have some Amazon links for you. Click through there and then buy whatever it is you're going to spend your money on anyway at Amazon.com, and you can support us, Two Guys, One Pod, while you shop at Amazon. It doesn't cost you anything extra. It helps us keep the lights on. Thanks for that.
Dude, you pimped it quick this week, like out the box.
I did.
Usually it's toward the end of the show.
Let's get it up there.
I don't know. It makes... my confidence level, I think, has gone down for the beginning of this show since you pimped it right off.
Why do you say that?
Well, because it makes me think that you pimped it right off because you don't think people listen to the entire show. So I need to get this in early.
No. Remember, I'm baiting them at the end of the episode now with the little post-song joke. They've got to stick around for the whole episode.
Oh yeah, after the outro song.
That's right. We get content all the way through here at Two Guys, One Pod. I just wanted to get it up off the top because it really is something they should do. Let me tell you something else that would be cool. However you listen to the show, if you stream it on your phone, if you listen to it straight from the website, whatever, if you use iTunes anywhere, go ahead and subscribe to the podcast in iTunes too. What it does is it'll move us up the rankings so that more people are more likely to find us accidentally. And we believe we're an awesome show. You think we're an awesome show because you're listening. Help others discover the awesomeness that is us.
It's like telling a friend without actually talking to a person.
It's like telling a friend without having a friend.
Which is who's listening to this show.
Some of them, I guarantee you. Yeah. Several episodes ago, you and I discussed which animal characteristic we'd like to have if we could have any one.
And I want to glow.
And you want to glow. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you wanted luminosity, bioluminescence.
How popular would you be at a rave?
Pretty popular, I imagine. I wanted a tail. I thought
that's still creepy. That's just saying that's fucking creepy.
Just thinking about it creeps you out. I love that.
It's disgusting.
I wanted a prehensile tail, one that I could control. This is from CNET.
Every man wants a little tail he can control.
That's true. This is from CNET.com. This is from September 24th. Headline, mind-controlled robot tail lets you wag when you're happy.
Oh, fuck that.
If you're looking for
Tell
a good
me that's
excuse,
not creepy.
It's not, dude. I don't think it's creepy. It's a little creepy because theirs is fuzzy. I'm not cool with that. I'd rather have like just a skin tail, I think.
No way. That's
and everybody
creepier.
has to have one. That's the other thing. Everybody has to have one or it's weird.
You have a skin tail. It's on your front. You just looking at it wrong.
If you're looking for a good excuse to check out someone's backside, Shippo's new emotion-controlled mechanical tail is just the ticket. So you've got your cat ears, your cat suit, and everything else you need to transition to another species. What's missing? A thought-controlled robot tail, of course. From NeuroWare, the makers of Nekamimi robot cat ears. I didn't know that was a thing either. but apparently so. This concept for a mechanical tail that moves according to the user's emotional state. There's a brainwave reading sensor also used in the cat ears device that can be hidden under your hat, as seen in the ridiculous video below, and we'll link that on our website.
Here's the deal. It's not like this is just a clever ruse for a masturbatory toy.
The wagging tail, the auto
as soon
wagging
as some
tail.
chick sees it, she'll strap it on backwards and have happy thoughts. Like that's what that's used for. Or they would put it on, and like maybe the mind control thing or whatever, the sensor was put on your husband's head or your boyfriend's head or your girlfriend's head.
So when he had happy thoughts.
Or when she had happy thoughts. That's exactly what that's for, man.
Fair enough. I got really excited when I saw that article linked first off.
I bet you did.
And then I got less excited when I realized all it does is wag. Like, you can't pick anything up with it. I want another appendage.
Really, we've already came out with another use for it.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's not. I don't want to see. I don't want to strap up Honey Bun with a tail on the front. That's not what I'm looking for. I was looking for another appendage. I was looking for a useful appendage. Wagging tail is not useful. So, my dreams remain unfulfilled. Do you have a word of the day?
Nope.
No, you don't have a word of the day. You do have a man scouting badge, though, for us.
I thought you had a word of the day.
Yeah, I forgot to look it up.
You didn't write it down?
No.
Oh, hey, pot's kettle.
You do have a man scouting badge, though, for us, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Excellent. Last week's was great, by the way. I really enjoyed the
pulp and paper.
Badge. Yes.
This one's I'm getting back to the dirty.
Oh, well, that's all right.
Yeah.
I think we know our audience.
I don't feel less cheap
by this point. Yeah, no.
So this badge is the nature badge, and Boy Scouts could make like make a bug collection or do bird watching and get this badge, right?
Okay.
So a nature badge is when you go down on a lady friend and she's got a full blown bush.
The au natural.
And let me tell you, boys won't go down there, but men will.
Really? They'll even go into the wilderness?
Yep. That's how you get the Man Scout point.
Count me out on this one.
Oh. Really?
Yeah. Can't do it. Sorry.
I dig it.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind a landing strip. I manscape. I manscape. I maintain. I expect my lady friend to do likewise, and she does.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't bother me if it is, but it doesn't bother me if it ain't.
You're an equal opportunity eater.
Yeah. Let me just say I got my badge.
You got your badge, though. Yeah, that's a badge that I'm going to pass up on. Thanks.
The thing is, I wonder how, because Boy Scout badges, they have this little emblem on it. There's a little design for each different one. I wonder what the nature Man Scout badge would look like. Because the Boy Scout badge has like a butterfly on it or some bullshit like that.
I think it would just be like a little bushy ball of fur. Like, think cotton balls, but like brown.
So it'd be like a 3D badge.
An
interactive badge.
Well, you know how like they're all like they've got a texture to them. Like the badge itself is flat, and then whatever is depicted on it is raised thread. Yeah, I'm thinking like that. Like, yeah, it's just, but it's lumpy around the edges. You know what I mean? Like, so that you get the sense that it's like a cotton ball or something. All
right.
Yeah, I think that's what that badge would look like, and I don't think I would want one. I wonder what the percentage is. I can't imagine. I think I'm in the majority here.
I don't. If girls were smart, you wouldn't be.
Why do you say that? You're saying they would have us trained to do less work?
Dudes will do anything for sex. Anything. And if the girls got together, formed a little union, like the refs, it's like, hey, guys, man, we're no sex for you till you go into the wilderness, bruh. And we'd be like, all right. No one would argue. Everybody would do it.
I I think we'd find some scabs. I mean, and that's a terrible word to use in this, but I'm saying if the women unionized and said we're no longer gonna maintain down there, I'm saying there would be some women that would cross the picket line.
No, there wouldn't.
There's a lot of women that can't stand it. There's a lot of women that they themselves are like, I've talked to tons that are like, well, not tons.
And then they'll go through life without any friends.
Oh, they'd be ostracized.
Yeah, I mean, that's
from
cool.
female society.
Yeah.
Maybe so. Let us know what you think about this and other man scouting badges and other hygienic topics at twoguysonepod@me.com. You mentioned the refs. The NFL refs are still not back, the real refs, and the world has gone mad because of it.
It doesn't bother me one way or the other.
Truth be told, I wasn't even that upset either. None of my team's shitty this year. I mean, I'm a Saints fan, and they're really bad. So I don't really care what the refs are doing to screw the rest of the league. I do get people's furor over it because obviously the calls are wrong, and so like you ought to have the real people back, I suppose. But they're asking for a lot of money.
Dude, I get a lot of enjoyment of hearing like where these refs have come from.
Oh, like the out of the woodwork stories?
Yeah, or like you would think that NFL refs are coming from like big college conferences, but they're not.
Really?
Yeah, like there's.
I haven't been watching.
That's the big deal about it. Is these guys who are doing it are so far out of their league. Like there was a ref from the XFL. There was a ref who reffed for the lingerie league.
No way.
Yes.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Yes. No, I'm not kidding you, but yes, there was.
That's awesome.
Like that's what they're finding these guys to do it.
That's fantastic. Speaking of the refs, it made me think about an if you could. We've never done an if you could this early in the show, by the way, but I kind of like it. If you could replace an entire cast of workers, like the referees, with replacement staff, the B team, as it were, either as punishment for society or because you think it would be humorous or to show off how important some certain group of workers is, whatever, who would you like to see be replaced with the B team? Like, for instance, here's a terrible one. We wouldn't want to replace our pilots, for instance.
Right, but you're asking me who I would change.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I can't think of a service that I'd want to get shittier. Like I can't think of a single service that'd be like, yeah, let's do without those guys.
Well, like what about the clerks at the counter at movie theaters?
No, why would I want a worse experience?
How do we know that it would necessarily be worse?
Because you said B team.
Well, okay, yeah, fair enough.
If I can replace somebody with someone better,
all right. Then what service industry, or not service industry, what group of workers do you believe are literally worse than the average from other industries? If we replace somebody with somebody if we literally brought a whole group of people in that knew nothing about that service.
Dude, this if you could is
not any good.
No, it's way too fucking complicated.
Yeah, I guess so. It was simpler in my head.
You just didn't ask enough questions before you filtered it.
I didn't filter it. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
What do you mean?
Like if you would have thought ahead of where this conversation was going to go about this, if you could, you would have reconsidered.
Oh well. All right, I got a different if you could.
Well, I hope so.
Ed McMahon was Johnny Carson's sidekick. His yes man.
That is correct.
That is correct, sir. Exactly. You can have any celebrity as your personal Ed McMahon.
Oh man, that's a good one.
Who would it be?
Wow.
That's much better. The second one was better.
Yeah.
It was a swing and a miss, but I rounded out and
I
saved the at bat.
Any celebrity. Man, that's.
Here's the deal. If you're looking for a sidekick,
Paula Deen, I think.
Paula Deen?
Yes.
Wow, wait, why?
First off, I really dig the accent. I love the y'all. I do.
Right.
But if she's my assistant, man, she'd be cooking me all kind of stuff.
I mean, I bet she does just like wander around her own home, even cooking, right? Like even if that wasn't specifically what you asked her to do or paid her to do,
that's what
she'd probably just end up cooking.
Yeah.
Man, I guess you're probably right.
That'd be awesome. I bet because she drinks. She has to drink. She has to.
Yeah, a little bit. I love, like I haven't watched a whole lot of it, but it's on a lot at my mom's house. So like if I go home to visit the family, I end up watching some Paula Deen while I'm there.
I bet I disappointed a lot of people.
Why?
I just don't think people would assume I would pick Paula Deen.
I'm
pretty happy about this choice, man.
I would never have assumed you would pick Paula Deen.
Yeah.
That blows my mind, actually. The hard thing for me is so many of the celebrities that I'm really interested in are like they're leading men or leading women. You know what I mean? Like they're real star players.
They're beautiful people, is what you're saying.
Not just beautiful people, but I mean like they command the room. They would not make good sidekicks. They might make good buddies, but they would not make good sidekicks. I think you got to go down to. I tell you who'd be a great one. I think Paul Giamatti would be a wonderful sidekick to follow me around, particularly if he really adopted the yes man attitude. I think Paul Giamatti would make a great yes man. Like, you know, like first of all, Paul Giamatti's not very attractive. So you could not help but always be better looking than him.
Yeah, but dude, with Paula Deen, I get a yes man and a smoked duck. Like,
well, Paula Deen's not going to go pick me up McDonald's. I mean, or she can't do that any better than Paul Giamatti can. You know? Like, and I'm not going to eat. Right. I'm not going to eat anything Paula Deen cooks anyway, except for biscuits. I can cook my own motherfucking biscuits. Or Paul Giamatti can cook my biscuits as well as Paula Deen can.
But what if he couldn't? Like, he has a phobia or something you don't know about?
He's like, I'm very scared of ovens. Is that I don't know if that's. I can't do a Paul Giamatti.
That was close to Nicolas Cage.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay. Nick Cage, I would not want around. Nick Cage is very high octane. He would be moving his hands a lot. I couldn't take anybody that's super dramatic. You know what I mean?
Man, I still can't. Paul Dean's
like
making me very
you're
happy
really
right
excited
now.
about it. I love this.
I'm so mad now I'm mad that can't happen.
Who's to say?
So disappointed in myself.
Who's to say, other guy? Hey, this podcast blows up. Paula Deen might be your assistant someday. Be like, yeah, you thought that cooking shit was gonna last forever, didn't you? Mm-hmm.
But then it still kind of is because I'm just getting her for her cooking. Yeah. So she still wins, and she gets to hang out with a guy like me. Fuck, it's a win-win.
It is. It's a win-win for everybody. I wonder if Paul Giamatti likes wine in real life as much as he did in Sideways. He's kind of a curmudgeon in that one.
I think Paula Deen loves cooking as much as she is depicted as cooking.
I wonder why I fell on Paul Giamatti in particular. It's a nice name
because
to say.
I think you're pretty safe with him being less attractive than you.
That's very true. He's a funny guy too.
Yeah.
I think like I think I would like to hear affirmations in his voice. Like I'm like, Paul, how do I look in this outfit? And he's like, that looks very nice on you, Joel.
Dude, I like it better is if we could pick out someone else's celebrity assistant. Like you'd get Gilbert Gottfried. That's who I'd give you.
You look fantastic.
Yeah, like I'd be so happy. I wouldn't be as happy as having Paula Deen as mine, but this is a close second. Would be to give you Gilbert Gottfried.
All right, let's extend it then. Who would you give? Who would you give to Mrs. Other Guy?
Ooh.
Not Chris Hemsworth.
No, God, not even close. Not even close. I'm thinking like Morgan Freeman.
Mrs. Other Guy crawled through a river of shit.
Hey, just drive her around, man.
Yes, Mrs. Other Guy. I be honking.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty good. Who would I give Honey Bun? See, I might give her Jason Priestley.
Oh, wait, who would
Especially
you
now
give?
that he's old.
Who would you give?
Mrs. Other Guy?
Yeah.
Probably Chris
Oh, I
Hemsworth.
fucking knew it. I knew it.
Just to see how long it would take for it to blow up. Like, I'd also install cameras in your house, just so you know.
Now, I might. I was real close to giving Mrs. Other Guy Brad Pitt. Super close.
That's just because you want to watch him eat.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, she'd probably start an affair with him, but every now and again she'll bring him to the breakfast table for me. Oh, man. Oh, my goodness. That's pretty good if you could. Let us know who you would want.
You know who I'd give Honey Bun?
Your celeb, Ed McMahon, to be. Who?
I'd give her like, I don't know, Emma Stone or somebody.
To mess with me?
Yeah.
And therefore to mess with her?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be terrible. Emma Stone in particular would be a bad one.
That'd be glorious.
I'm sorry, honey bun. I'm so sorry. Maybe they'd hit it off. Like maybe they'd be best of friends, and she'd be like, you know what? Secretly, I'm attracted to women too. Can we bring Emma Stone into this relationship?
You thinking that right now, and knowing that is definitely not going to happen? It's already working.
I know. It's time for a little listener mail.
DeVale is here. Ooh.
I love listener mail.
I do too. We got a couple of really good ones this week. This is from my first roommate.
Turf war.
No, it has nothing to do. You're trying to stir shit up between her and Eagle Joe, and they've let bygones be bygones.
Why'd you stop saying Eaglet Joe?
No reason. Mm-hmm. My first roommate says
Turf war.
So other guy says he doesn't think there's anything outside the art world that he couldn't achieve physically or mentally if he devoted himself to it.
Don't doubt me. Don't do it.
I would like to hear him try menstruating.
I'm doing it right now.
What brand of tampons do you think you're going to end up preferring? Do you need MaxiFlow?
Oh yeah. If I do it all the way. I just need to just you know what? Just get me a bucket that attaches between my knees. That's how I roll. But here's the deal. Like if I menstruated, that's how I'd do it. And I wouldn't bitch about it. I would just come drip next to you.
Aw, that's not cool. That's not cool at all. I will say this. I
just mean mug you the whole time.
I was very close with my mother growing up. I've got a little sister that I've been close with all along. I spent more time with them than I did with my dad or like other like male figures in my life. I was raised by women, I like to say. My father was around, but I was raised by women. I'm very fond of women in my life. I got a significant other, et cetera, et cetera. I was married for years. I've been around a lot of women in my life. Every single month, they seem surprised by how much their period sucks. I do not understand that. Like, why do they forget it every month?
You've had it 30 years.
That's
Shut
what
the
I'm saying.
fuck up.
I mean, I don't mind them complaining, but every month it's like it's the worst that it's ever been. And I mean, I don't think it actually gets worse every month, right? But they're always surprised when it comes back around by how much it sucks.
Wow.
Like the first 2 days or so, don't you find that to be the case, or are you leaving me out on a limb all by myself here?
I'm through talking about
periods.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. There's Two Guys, One Pod on menstruation,
or not. Not a fan.
We got enough of menstruation.
Not a fan at all.
We got an email from
Not now. Not never.
Not now, not ever. Not ever. Never, ever. We got an email from, and I'm not sure what to call her. I originally wanted to call her Lady Tigerback because she's a grad student right now at LSU, but I think she was a Razorback first. I'm pretty sure she's from Arkansas. You suggested, though, since she is a grad assistant, and we know that for a fact, we're just going to call her Miss Gradass.
She got a grad ass!
Miss Gradass writes, the she gonna get fucked story is my favorite story of all time.
It's a good story, man.
She says, it really is. This, of course, was referenced in last week's episode.
What a lucky lady.
It's a great quote. It's a great quote by our friend, Mr. Professor. His Twitter account, by the way, if you want to chase this guy down online and start talking to him, telling him he's got to get in the studio with us, at Mr._Professor. At Mr._Professor. She says, after imbibing enough alcohol, I like to tell it to people who couldn't give less of a shit, laugh myself into hiccups, and then move on.
Yeah, it is. It's a story that you tell because you enjoy the telling. You don't give a fuck who's even paying attention or listening.
It is. And what's great about it is the fact that like he is one of these characters, and there's other stories like this to attach to him, but that one in particular is one that probably hundreds of people at this point who've never even met the professor know that story about him because it's been told and retold and told and retold so many times. Think about all the people. Our holiday friend works in a college department. He teaches in a college department. He's friends with other professors and whatever, and they all work professionally occasionally in the theater world. All of those people have heard that story, I'm sure.
It is exactly like our Romanian friend's squatty potty story.
Wait a minute, I don't remember the squatty potty story.
Oh, you missing out?
Okay. Well, he's going to be on the podcast eventually too. We'll have to get him to tell the squatty potty story when we have him here in studio. So anyway, yeah, she says she likes to laugh herself into hiccups about that story more than a few times. Just hearing it mentioned on the podcast made me shoot water out my nose. Appreciate that, and we appreciate you sharing.
I condone.
Yes, we appreciate you sharing that, Miss Gradass, because
she got a gradass.
It's true. It's true. Hey, real quick, let's do a Who Are These Guys?
Who's that guy? Where did he come from? Who's that guy? Hey, tell me someone I never knew anyone could be so cool. Oh, oh, oh. Who's that guy? Who's that
guy? You and I just spent some time with your niece before we came up here playing a little Lynx crossbow training.
Oh yeah, smoked her.
We did. We were playing that though, and she was playing one of these new Xbox games, Borderlands, and you and I got to talking about GoldenEye, which is another game that we've spent a ridiculous amount of time playing. What is it? We haven't played Link's Crossbow Training, by the way, for those that don't know. It's a game for the Nintendo Wii. It came free when you bought the Wii Zapper thing, the little that looks like a gun or whatever, or it was included in the purchase price of it. And it's a really simple game. It's effectively like just target practice.
Yeah.
You and I have played it hundreds of hours.
Nah, I don't know if that many.
You don't think so?
No, we played it a lot, but hundreds of hours, man.
We've played it for 3 and 4 hours at a stretch many, many times.
Not 100 times.
If we'd played it 3 or 4 hours at a stretch, 50. Well, we haven't played it 50 times,
no.
3 or 4 hours at a stretch, I guess. Okay, you're right.
Well,
I exaggerated. We do play it quite a good bit. It's a lot of fun. We haven't played it though. Well, I don't know. Your niece has been hanging out with you guys for like 3 months now, 2 months, 2.5 months, something like that.
About 2 months.
Yeah, we haven't played it at all since she's been at the house, and even before that, it'd probably been another month or so. It's been 3 or 4 months at least since we've played it. And yet, immediately, man, you and I pick up the thing and get right back into it. It's almost like it's muscle memory. I've always felt that way with GoldenEye, too. I mean, like the GoldenEye was a game for Nintendo 64. We played it a ton. I did with my high school buddies and then into the first part of college. And you said the same thing, like, as frat guys, like, you'd get together and play GoldenEye or whatever sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You go months, years even without playing those, you go right back into it as far as, like, it is kind of muscle memory, like riding a bike or something.
Yeah.
What is it about those games that does that? But I don't have that kind of affinity for anything that's out now. Like, I don't feel that way about Angry Birds. I can't leave it off and then go back to it, you know, after 3 months of not playing it and immediately be as in love with it and as good at it as I was before.
I also think even if you play Angry Birds a lot, it's still not compared to console games for us.
Well, right, but I mean, like, do you feel like you play what's the new big RPG that came out this year?
Skyrim.
Okay, Skyrim. You play Skyrim. Do you feel that way about Skyrim? Like, can you lay out a Skyrim for 3 months and then come back into it and immediately be just as in love and just as good at it?
No, but even like if I were to play GoldenEye right now,
right,
I would be amazed and in love for 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And then, but then I'd be like, it's time to go do something else.
Oh, really? You'd wear out of it?
Oh, yeah.
See, if I took the time to set up a system, either to actually hook up an N64 or like if I could play it on the Wii or something now with a real controller, I think I'd play it for weeks. Like, I think I'd get right back into it. Yeah. I think it's that. Well, I know it has been in the past for me. There's a couple of old RPGs that were that way too, like the Super Mario RPG I loved. Anytime I start playing it, I have to finish it.
Final Fantasy III I played
That was the game that, like, even now, if you started it, you'd get real into it.
I'd play it all the way through again if I start playing it again, yeah.
Huh. What's your 3 favorite video games of all time?
Mortal
Final
Kombat.
Fantasy? Oh, Mortal Kombat?
The first one. Because it was just so different when it came out, man.
In the arcade, you mean? Or
Yeah.
the first one that you could play at home?
The first one in the arcade.
Yeah.
Like, it was just so different when it came out.
Well, there had been Pit Fighter before that, right? Which was, or
no.
did Pit Fighter come after?
Pretty sure Pit Fighter came after.
I actually liked. We had Pit Fighter and Mortal Kombat right beside each other at the Johnny's Pizza where I grew up, and well, I didn't grow up at the Johnny's Pizza, but in the town where I grew up. And it like compared the two of them together, and maybe it was just because Pit Fighter came out later. I don't know, but to me, it was like a much more fun game. It was way more balanced.
Because Pit Fighter also was you also had the holographic console, the stand-up holographic game with it.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
God, I forgot about those systems altogether. Those were great. What the hell happened to arcades, by the way?
I don't know. I miss them.
Like, what a complete time suck when we were. How much money did you and I waste in arcades when we were kids?
Dude.
I wasted tons.
Hundreds.
And every little corner store would have at least an arcade machine or two, right? Like even like every convenience store had an arcade
Or a
machine in the
pinball.
back. Yeah, or a pinball machine or something.
Yeah.
And most restaurants, same way. You'd have an arcade machine or two, or a pinball machine or two. Nobody does anymore. I guess it's
Dude, I can't tell you how much money I spent at the arcade playing Gauntlet, the new Gauntlet, like live. Because you could put in your code and save your character, man.
oh really?
Yeah. And
That's
then all four
crazy.
of you could play. Like, you'd put in your code, and you'd play this character 5 or 6 hours. They've got all their stats and everything. And you
No
pop up and
way.
play with them. Yeah. Dude, I dumped a ton of money in that thing.
That's crazy.
And all your friends could play together at the arcade. And then pretty much you get there and you play that one game, and everybody's waiting behind you, but you and your 4 fucking buddies don't move. Like, you're just
you just commandeer the arcade. No, I'm
for like
I'm
an
sorry.
hour, 2 hours.
Sorry, this is our machine. Thank you. You'll have to move down and set an appointment time for later in the day.
Dude, let me tell you, when you're like 13, 14, 15, and you're like old enough to kind of like walk around by yourself, ride your bike around town or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we were talking about last week, man. It's a good time to be. All right, so Mortal Kombat, Final Fantasy 3 makes the list too.
Oh, yeah. Final Fantasy 3 makes the list. I don't know what would be third. It's hard for me to get away from just original Mario. It's hard for me to get away from that, not being on my top 3.
Super Mario Brothers 3 is in my top 3. Super Mario Brothers 3, I think, is probably the best one. There's an argument to be made maybe for Super Mario World, the first one on Super Nintendo. But to me, Super Mario Brothers 3 perfected all the mechanics of the first 2 games and added enough new stuff in to, like, you just can't get a better side-to-side
Yeah, dude, but I fell in love.
scroller,
I fell in love with
platform, or whatever.
video games with Super Mario Brothers.
Oh, the original Super Mario Brothers?
Yeah.
Dude, the combo pack is what I had. You know, the one
Duck Hunt?
cartridge. You had Mario and Duck Hunt on the single
Yeah.
cartridge. That came with the Nintendo, and you got the, like, 2 game pads and a zapper. Which, by the way, what a fucking deal that was, looking back on it,
Dude, let me
compared
tell
to what
that
you get in
that
a
gun
system
design,
now.
the original Zapper design, is still awesome.
It would, if somebody put out that zapper today, I think it would sell like fucking gangbusters, man. If it worked for Xbox or whatever, or like the latest, first person shooters or whatever.
So
you
as
need
much
to
as
work.
I enjoy talking about old video games, where are we going with this?
I was mostly looking at who are these guys? I was looking for your 3 top video games. What are
all
your
right.
favorite video games of all time? We've never really talked about them on the show. We've mentioned it a few times that we like video games, but not like, it's not, neither one of us, it's our favorite thing to do or anything. So it's never been a feature of the show. It's just something I had on my mind. Anyway, Mario Brothers 3 would be on my list. I would say Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
Mm-hmm.
Because it took like all of the fun of playing Mortal Kombat in the arcade, it brought that to the home console, and it wasn't violent, so people didn't have quite the problem, or it wasn't graphic.
Tekken Tag, I loved. I played that in the arcade a lot.
I never played any of the Tekken series at all, so I was never really
Dude,
into
they're good,
that.
man.
Super Mario Brothers RPG. It was made by Square, so it played like a Final Fantasy game, but it had all the Mario characters in it, and it had a great storyline, I thought, too. I played the shit out of that. I've probably beaten that game 7 times in my life. Those are my top 3. 2 Super Mario Brothers games in the top 3.
I've never, I don't think I've ever beat a game. Oh, you know what? I got to change my top 3.
Okay.
Yep. Super Mario Brothers out, dude.
Uh-oh. All right, so it's Final Fantasy 3
Mm-hmm.
and Mortal Kombat, and
Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, man.
Mike Tyson's Punch-Out.
Oh, dude, I don't think I've played a game more.
The original one?
Yeah.
I was never any good at it. Like, I could not figure it out until way later. Like, by the time they brought out the one on Super Nintendo, I was old enough to figure out the mechanics a little bit.
Oh, when it was just Punch-Out, and like they replaced Tyson with
with Mr. Dream or whatever. Yeah. When it was just Super Punch-Out. Like that, I was kind of good at that. So I don't have the nostalgia from when I was. That was one of the games on the early Nintendo games that I was no good at.
Dude, I played the shit out of that game, man.
Kid Icarus is the same way. Like, I don't have any affinity for Kid Icarus because I was never any good at it, so I didn't get into it. I didn't own the. Did you own the Power Pad?
Did with the track and field?
I had I had.
I think it's the only game I played. I can't think of another Power Pad game I had.
There were only a few. There was track and field, and then there was one other one. I had a buddy like down the street that had the Power Pad.
Yeah, I was about
and
to say,
he had the two.
It wasn't even my Power Pad.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It was like your next door neighbors or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I had a neighbor that had the Power Pad.
Dude, the Nintendo came out. It'd been out for a while before we got it, and it was my grandparents that bought it for us.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I got it the first year. I think that whatever the adventure set that had the zapper and the two control pads and the combo game. Whenever that came out, I got it for my birthday that year. I got it for, and that was like all I got. But shit, my dad was as into it as I was at first because we would literally spend hours at night playing Duck Hunt together.
Dude, my dad was into it too, man. But he played the puzzle games like Lulu's Castle and stuff like that.
Yeah. See, I could never get into those, and Dad could never figure out how to work the joystick. It's like my father's 63 years old. He's never touched a computer mouse. He does not understand digital interaction. So like the gun he could handle, and like years later when they came out with the Super Scope 6 or whatever for the Super Nintendo, like he got into that for a minute because he could throw it up on his shoulder and use it. He figured out, he knew what a bazooka was like. He got that. Never could figure out a joypad. Anyway, those are some of my best memories from being a kid, man. Me and him watching ridiculous action movies together like The Predator and the Die Hard movies when I was far too young.
I feel like joystick means something today than it did 30 years ago.
Oh, no, it totally... Well, it's because we removed the joystick, right?
Come get on my joystick, girl.
Why don't you,
Say, girl.
Why don't you come over here and let me show you how to use this joystick? Yeah, we took away the innocuous meaning because nobody uses joysticks anymore. They have do they even call it a joypad? No, they call it like a gamepad, right?
No, they don't even call it a gamepad. It's a controller.
No, they call it. I mean, the actual like the D-pad. They call it the D-pad, huh?
Yeah,
the directional pad
the
or whatever.
Up, down, left, right. A, B, select, start. If you're playing two players.
No, that's the Konami code there, my friend.
Dude, I played a lot of Contra. You know what? Contra's got to go. Mortal Kombat's out. Contra's in.
I like Contra a lot too. I was never good at that either. I don't think I've ever been past the 4th level.
So Contra, Punch Out, and Final Fantasy 3 is what I'm going with right now.
That's a nice top 3. We would love to hear your top 3 video games. We'd love to hear your Dear Other Guy letters if you want advice from the other guy. If you've got news stories or anything like that, you can, of course, email us 2guysonepod@me.com. You can drop off a question at our website, 2guysonepod.com, or you can stop by our Facebook page, facebook.com/2guysonepod. And please share the pod with a friend. Share the pod love.
I feel like we started out all right. I think we rambled a lot at the end.
Oh, we rambled a lot. That's okay. It's what we do sometimes. This is a short one, too, but that's going to be all right, too. I'm going to add on a long song from Adam this week.
Oh, yeah? What song?
I don't know. Whatever's long. He's got some great shit.
Yeah, man.
I'm not sure which song I'm going to use this week, but the outro music this week will be from Adam Dale, who we're going to have on sometime. We got some guests to line up here, actually, over the next couple of months, maybe. We should try to make that start happening. I'll look into that. Look at that. Until next week, that's been another episode. I'm one guy.
And I'm the other.
And this has been the podcast. See, in a Romney-led America,
Oh, good Lord.
after President Romney takes office, I'm assuming polygamy will be immediately legalized. So gay marriage will still be illegal, but polygamy will be okay.
If he gets elected, I want to change ramen noodles to Romney noodles. Because that's all anybody will be able to afford once he takes office.